All right, so go ahead and go to unsplash.com and find a photo of a dessert that you want to turn into a pattern overlay. So I typed in cookie and I'm going to browse for a cookie that I think has some nice surface area that I can use as a pattern. All right, and then make sure to download this to your desktop. I always like to change the name so that I can find my photograph on the desktop easily. All right, once you're located a dessert, maybe it's a cookie, a donut, a candy cane, we're going to go to Photoshop and we're going to open a brand new document. All right, go ahead and call this document your last name pattern overlay. Let's go ahead and just make it 10 inches for the width, 8 inches for the height. We'll just do 150 pixels per inch since this is a practice. All right, so we have our blank document open. Now it's time to go open the dessert photo that you downloaded. Let's go to File, Open, and browse for that. All right, so you have two documents open. You have the dessert photo and you have your blank document. All right, so let's go to your dessert photo. You're going to get the rectangular marquee. That's the top tool on the right in your tool palette, rectangular marquee. And you're going to just drag a selection around the area you want to turn into a pattern. So notice here's my selection right here. That's the only part I'm going to turn into a pattern. I'm not selecting the whole cookie, and you must use the rectangular marquee. Another thing that you want to do is make sure your background layer is not locked. So go ahead and drag that lock symbol to the trash can to unlock the background layer. All right, so once again, you have the rectangular marquee and you've dragged a selection of the area you want to turn into a pattern overlay for our text. No, no background information, just the area you want to be a pattern. Now we're going to go up top to Edit, Define Pattern. All right, you should get this pop up. It says pattern name. It should show a little image of what's going to become the pattern. You can go ahead and rename it if you want to, and click OK. So you've just loaded a pattern. Now it's time to go to back over to our blank document. Let's go ahead and get the type tool, just the regular horizontal type tool. You can drop down a font. This is a practice, so just go ahead and use a preset font. Later for your actual text effect project though, do download some new fonts. Let's choose a font that is bold and has some nice surface area. You want to be able to see your pattern inside the font. All right, and then it really doesn't matter what color your text is, but here's our color picker. Right now I'm just going to make mine red so you can see it. All right, and let's make it somewhat large. All right, next up, we're going to add a pattern overlay. This is a layer style. So we're going to go to layer style, blending options, and bring up our blending options menu. Okay, now when we bring up the layer style menu, over on the left-hand side, here's all of our layer styles. We've worked with several of these before, like bevel and emboss, and stroke, and drop shadow. Let's go ahead and click on pattern overlay. Now notice, you want to get the pattern overlay menu. To get the menu, make sure you click on the word pattern overlay. If you just check the box, it won't change the menu. So check on the word pattern overlay, and then right here, you should have your pattern preset. And if you scroll to the bottom, your new dessert pattern should be there on the bottom. We have some defaults like trees, grass, even water defaults. All right, but yours should be on the very bottom of that drop-down menu. All right, and now you can edit the pattern. Do you want the pattern to be larger or smaller? So if I make the pattern larger, there's less duplication of the pattern, right? If I decrease the scale of the pattern, take a look, it duplicates the pattern. You can actually see it's been duplicating it over and over again. All right, so you can increase or decrease the scale. You can change the angle of the pattern. You can even make the pattern transparent so that you can still see the color of the text. I'm going to keep mine on 100% opacity. All right, and that's it for pattern overlay. Let's go ahead and just add a couple more layer styles to make this more interesting. All right, we've done bevel and emboss before. I'm going to click on the words bevel and emboss to make this look more 3D. You could play around with your outer, inner bevel, your pillow emboss, or stroke. All right, you can play around with the depth, the direction, and the size. Okay, you can add other things. How about I'll add a stroke, which is the outline. All right, right now I've got a brown stroke, but notice that it's changing according to the light source because I have that bevel emboss on it. So right now it's brown. If you wanted to, you could sample different colors. Like I'll sample the brown of well actually it's sampling the red of the cookie. All right, got a darker brown there for my stroke. All right, so now I've got a bevel, emboss, a stroke, and a pattern out overlay. How about I'll add a drop shadow. All right, and now remember I clicked on the words drop shadow so that my drop shadow menu is available. And now I can play around with the settings for the drop shadow. All right, so that's really just the 4 different layer styles. And then we could finish this up by giving it a background. Remember, when you do your own text effects, though, you're going to be more complex to show off some more skills and add an interesting background artwork. Not just a background photo, but a background artwork. So you could go back to, or let's go back to Unsplash, and let's at least finish this off with a little something. All right, I'm just going to give it, how about the milk and cookies? Now notice that my cookie artwork is landscape and my photo that I downloaded is portrait orientation. So let's see. I'm going to need to zoom out with my navigator and resize, and I'm going to have to decide if I need to crop any of the photo, or do I just want to lose part of it? Okay, that's our pattern overlay practice. Make sure to flatten your image when you're done with the practice. Make sure you saved it with your last name dash pattern overlay and and submit that to the Google Classroom.